You didn't choose Alpha-1. Alpha-1 chose you. One day, you were a mid-level analyst with clearance you didn't ask questions about. The next, 3 words changed everything. Red right hand. No file exists on what happens next. That's the point. It starts with a knock that isn't on your door. It's inside your apartment. The operative standing in your kitchen already knows your service record better than you do. She doesn't ask if you want this. She asks if you understand what happens if you say no. You don't say no. Nobody says no. At an unmarked facility with no name on the gate, you sign nothing. Alpha-1 doesn't keep paperwork on its own people. They tell you the rules in under a minute. You will report only to the O5 Council, not your old commanding officer, not your site director, the council, or no one. You will never confirm you exist, even to family, especially to family. And if a mission requires it, you will disappear completely. No burial, no notification, no name on a wall. You realize, standing there, that you just agreed to become a rumor. 3 days later, your first assignment arrives with no briefing room, no slideshow, no team introductions. Just a single photograph and 4 words. This cannot be traced. The photograph is of a Foundation researcher. Level 4 clearance, 12 years of service. A name you almost recognize. He didn't leak anomalous data to a rival faction. He did something the Council considers worse. He told his sister what he really does for a living. 1 sentence, spoken at a family dinner. That's the entire case file. You spend 6 days becoming a stranger to yourself. New face, new gate, a new name that dissolves the moment the mission ends. You get inside his building as a maintenance contractor nobody looks at twice. You watch him for 2 nights before you ever speak to him. Alpha-1 doesn't rush. Alpha-1 confirms. On the 3rd night, you're close enough to hear him humming while he makes coffee. He has no idea the last ordinary day of his life started that morning. Then you see the sister's photo on his fridge, and something in the file stops matching the person in front of you. The report called him a security risk. What you're watching is a man who broke a rule because he couldn't lie to someone he loved anymore. Red right hand isn't sent in for monsters. Monsters are easy. You're sent in for the ordinary tragedies the Foundation can't afford to explain. This is the part of the job nobody warned you about. The target rarely looks like the file. Protocol gives you 2 options, and neither one is a rescue. Full containment and memory revision. He keeps his life, but loses the version of himself who told the truth. Or the option nobody says out loud, reserved for when revision alone won't hold. You radio in your recommendation. The Council doesn't explain its reasoning back to you. It never does. 20 minutes later, the order comes back with a single word attached. Proceed. You don't get to know exactly what that word means until you're already moving. By morning, the version of events that existed 12 hours ago no longer exists anywhere. Not in his neighbor's memories, not in his sister's, not officially in yours. The Foundation's official record will simply say the incident never happened. Yours will say you completed the objective. That's the whole report. 2 lines, no name, no case number anyone outside Alpha-1 will ever read. You go back to being nobody in particular. A colleague who was on leave for 2 weeks, nobody quite remembers the reason for. Alpha-1 doesn't debrief you the way other units do. There's no counselor, there's no medal, there's just the next photograph, whenever it comes. This is Red Right Hand, not the loudest task force in the Foundation, not the biggest, the one that exists so everyone else never has to know how close the truth came to getting out. And somewhere, right now, there's a photograph with someone else's face on it, waiting for the next person the Council decides can carry it. You didn't choose Alpha-1, but you'll never really leave it either.